Seuss Landing at Universal's Islands of Adventure is home to the stories and characters of Dr. Seuss's most famous books. The Cat in the Hat has a ride. Green Eggs and Ham is a popular restaurant. There's a one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish attraction. But there's one famed story that's clearly missing from Seuss Landing's lineup, the Grinch. Well, he does fittingly make an appearance for the land's annual holiday celebration, Grinchmas, as do the Who's in Whoville. Throughout the other months of the year, however, the mean, ornery old Grinch is nowhere to be found in Seuss Landing. He must be hiding away in his lair at Mount Crumpit. Say, where is Mount Crumpit in Seuss Landing? It can't even be seen off in the distance beyond a forest of truffula trees. Using our imaginations and exploring old rumors, we can visit Mount Crumpit and take a ride on a Grinch roller coaster that never was. The Grinch is a character that needs no introduction. He made his first featured appearance in Dr. Seuss's 1967 book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The story received an animated special in 1966, a live-action retelling in 2000, and yet another animated adaptation in 2018. The Grinch, as despicable as he is, has been in the spotlight plenty of times. Even still, he doesn't have the year-round theme park presence other Dr. Seuss characters such as the Cat in the Hat have received. He hasn't been forgotten, however. Rumors suggest that Universal has considered the idea of a Grinch-themed coaster based on his sleigh ride down Mount Crumpit as told in the stories. This proposed attraction dates back to the 90s when Universal was first drafting the park that would eventually become Islands of Adventure. Its first iteration was a concept called Cartoon World, to be located on the same plot of land where Islands of Adventure is today. A version of Seuss Landing was included in the park's plans. In the original concept art for Cartoon World, a mountainous, rocky structure around a weaving track may appear as a Mount Crumpit attraction. Alternatively, what's portrayed here may be what eventually became the high-in-the-sky Seuss trolley train ride, twisting through Dr. Seuss's unique and artistic architecture. Upon seeing concept art from another angle, the second theory may be closer to the truth, most likely not a Grinch-themed ride. The details of this particular attraction in the concept art were never released, and Cartoon World as a whole would not come to fruition. Seuss Landing, however, was one of the few ideas from Cartoon World that carried over to Islands of Adventure and would eventually be built. The same can't be said for the supposed Mount Crumpit attraction, though its premise would stay in consideration for future projects. Throughout the decades, rumors have circulated that Universal would expand its Seuss Landing area with a new Grinch attraction. The plot of land that is most commonly tied to these rumors is the area in between the Cat in the Hat and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, which theoretically could host a mountain-based coaster. Another location that has been in recent rumors is the remaining sections of the Lost Continent adjacent to Seuss Landing. If the coaster rumor were to come true, the area would have been rethemed to a general winter village, featuring other attractions based on classic claymation holiday specials. As for the Grinch ride, it was rumored to have been a Matterhorn bobsled style family-friendly coaster. The attraction would take place on Mount Crumpit, where at the peak sits the Grinch's dreadful lair. The attraction's supposed name, Grinch's Sleigh Ride, hints at what we could have expected. Guests would most likely board sleighs on a coaster track and slide through indoor and outdoor scenes down the slopes and cliffs of Mount Crumpit. Being a family-friendly attraction, the coaster would probably feature mild turns and drops with no inversions. Again, in a similar style to Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland Park, but perhaps with a modern feel such as on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Magic Kingdom. While the ride would certainly be themed to the Grinch, it's unclear which version of the story this coaster would be based on. Depending on when the ride were to be built, it could have been modeled after the original animated special, Jim Carrey's live-action remake, or the recently released Benedict Cumberbatch feature produced by Illumination, which is a Universal-owned property. If the ride were to be based on the 2000 movie, rumors state that Universal would have hired the voice talents of Jim Carrey to reprise his role as the dastardly Grinch. However, that movie may not have been the most relevant to use on an attraction aimed toward a younger audience, with the film now being 2 decades old. The 2018 animated film grossed over $500 million at the box office, making it the highest earning Dr. Seuss film to date, a likely candidate if the ride were to be built today. In a way, the ride actually happened. From 2000 to 2004 during Islands of Adventure's seasonal Grinchmas event, Universal had set up a Mount Crumpit themed slide called the Mount Crumpit Snow Plummet. This was a 60-foot tall actual ice slide for families and younger riders. This temporary attraction didn't live up to the lofty rumors of a coaster, as Alan Bird of the Orlando Business Journal put it in 2000, quote, "True, some things are 2 sizes too small," unquote. Still, this slide gave riders a thrill through the icy, snowy caverns of Mount Mount Crumpit, sending them down a chute on an inflatable toboggan back to Whoville. While this may not have been the fully realized coaster from the rumors, it gave young guests a memorable way to complete the Grinchmas experience. The slide was built on the unused area in between the Cat in the Hat and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, which was one of the sites rumored for the unbuilt coaster. Grinchmas during this time also included a Grinch meet and greet inside his lair. Its decor could have been a small glimpse into what could have been the rumored coaster's theming throughout the queue and portions of the ride. In 2010, Grinchmas at Universal Studios Hollywood featured a Mount Crumpit scene on its studio tour, which was a modified version of the now defunct rotating tunnel effect. Universal Studios Hollywood also had a Mount Crumpit slide similar to Orlando's. Supposedly, in the theme park world, no good idea is ever thrown away or wasted. This long-standing rumor has been promising at times, as Seuss Landing still has areas for expansion, and with Islands of Adventure quickly becoming a coaster-dominant park, who knows what the future holds for a Grinch-themed coaster. Grinch's sleigh ride would definitely be a wonderful, awful, marquee family attraction. If it ever comes to fruition, fans will surely fahoo forays and welcome Christmas year-round.